Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Safari Spotlight here in the heart of the Waterberg. My name is John, and behind the camera we have Gert, and we are starting things off here this afternoon with this elephant bull right alongside the road. And he is absolutely having a feast of note. We can't go past him just yet because he really is right next to the road, and he's apparently busy doing his best to dismantle what looks to be like some bush willows, and he's doing a mighty fine job. This afternoon we are just going to be heading out towards the central part of the reserve, and of course just a massive thank you to Makweti, Sediba and Nugunbane, our three partner lodges here at Welgevonden, for making these safari spotlights possible. Well, everybody, we've just stumbled upon a rhino bull, and it's one of the rhino bulls we've previously spent some time with, but you'll probably notice that his horn is what almost looks like there's an old section and a new section, and that's because it is exactly that. And a lot of the rhinos at Welgevonden are rhinos that have been rescued from other properties, other reserves. And you probably find that this male was situated rather in a reserve which had a strong dehorning policy. And at some other stage he would have been darted by the vets. His horn would have been removed, all in terms of legislation and legalities, and added to a sort of a national stockpile of the rhino horn. And what has happened is, in that time, he has obviously grown an additional bit onto that horn. So there's a distinct old section and new section. You can actually see that new section. It's so polished off from where he's been rubbing it up against trees, and potentially while he's been sparring with another male even. But he is one old boy. Another fantastic afternoon sunset setting here, everybody. Have a look at this interaction. We have a whole herd of buffalo here, and the extremely large cat among the pigeons is this white rhino who's busy throwing his weight around. Have a go at him. He is not impressed that these buffalo. He's actually chasing them. Look at that. He's chasing these buffalo away. He is seriously grumpy. Unreal. He now seems to have found some space for himself. He seems to be satisfied now that he's avoided that immediate vicinity of any buffalo. The buffalo seem completely unfazed at this point in time. At the end of the day, I suppose this would entirely boil down to the fact that it's a particularly good pasture of grass for grazing. And perhaps the rhino has been here for most of the afternoon, and all of a sudden this herd of buffalo have made their way here. And with that, there has obviously been some jostling, because he's not particularly happy that he's got competition now for his food. There's in fact a bunch of Cape buffalo also busy getting rowdy here with one another. A couple of bulls in amongst the herd, letting off some testosterone. Here, for example, is another prime example of a rhino clearly just disgruntled about something, just taking his frustration out on the buffalo. So you have these almighty heavyweights that can coexist with one another, but every now and then, just as we perhaps wake up on the wrong side of the bed, it would seem that it happens here as well. And I guess in this particular situation, and in the instance where I've seen with elephant and rhino, it boils down to resources. So here again we have food, it's winter, the particular type of grazing grass that these animals are probably preferring at the moment is probably limited to a couple of areas, and this rhino is making sure that these buffalo know that he is here and present. You can see there's a single blue wildebeest also in the mix here, perhaps a little bit confused. He's lost his herd and has now decided that for today he's going to be a buffalo. Well, everybody, while we sit here and enjoy this simply spectacular scene with this herd of buffalo kicking up all this dust in the dying rays of afternoon light, we are going to bid you farewell until the next episode of Safari Spotlight. Of course, thank you to Sediba, Makweti and Nugunbane for making all of these Safari Spotlights in the heart of the Waterberg possible for you, the viewers. Until next time, bye for now.